We'll create next file that is called function.js. Function.js. Function.js first. Why you want to write a function and what is function? Okay. Why we are going to write the function? That says like in one project, suppose similar type of requirement you have again and again. Similar type of functionality you have again and again. Okay. Like suppose you want to display the list of services offered by company in all the pages. Suppose there is a 20 page in your project and in all the pages you want to display the list of service. Now list of service if you want to display in all the pages, then 20 times you cannot write the code. If you are writing the same code 20 times, that meaning you are doing mistake. So in that case, people write one function. Some code they'll write one place and that code they'll call everywhere. Okay. That can be based on function, based on class also, but inside the class also your function itself. So function says like whenever we have a certain requirement that is going to repeat again and again multiple times in a project, then we can use a function. We can create a function. Again, function can be static also, function can be dynamic also. Function will give the output based on your input and function will give the same output every time. Both options we have, we can write it. We have some old method to write the function, some new method to write the function. So we'll see one by one. First, how to write a function. So function usually it start with a function keyword and you have to give any name of the function. Suppose I write call one and then function bracket we need to write. And for a statement purpose, we have to write call curly bracket. Okay, so function name, curly bracket open and close and inside the statement. Right, so suppose we are writing a function and this function will give us the list of year every time. List of year every time. Whenever we call, it will give the list of years. Okay, list of years it will give. The list of years will make it a static also and will make it a dynamic also. Okay, maybe suppose you open any website where if there is a registration form, there it says like person who are going to register, they should be up to 18 years old. Okay, so when you go and select the date of birth, it will not display the year that is within the 18 years. It displays those years that is more than 18 years, right? Now also you open the same. After 5 years also, if you open the function, the list of the year will remain same. Okay, like it will get change like today from which date to which date, which year to which year it will become 18 years. After 5 years again, which year to which year should be 18 years. The automatically the function will be displayed. It will not be like next year we have to change the code. Okay, so function, let me write here something. Suppose you write a for loop. Inside the for loop, you write where I equal to 1, not I equal to 1, I equal to suppose 2000. I less than equal to 2023, 23, then I plus plus. So what is going to happen in this? It is going to give you the list of years since 2000 to 2023. Console.log, we can print the I as a year. So now when we call this function, the function one what we are written, whenever we call it, it will give us the year between 2000 to 2023. Okay, every time it will give the same year between 2000 to 2023. So when we have certain type of task required again and again and again and again in 20 pages of the project, so this code you will not write for loop 20 times. In future, if you want to modify, you have to modify 20 times. 20 places you have to modify. So better than that, use the logic of function, write the code one place, and throughout the project, wherever you require, just to call the function. Right? Code will be one place, implementation will happen unlimited places. So function definition we wrote. Now how you are going to invoke this function? How you are going to call the function? Okay. So this way, just write the name of the function with the semicolon. Function will get called. Function will get called. Now we can check once whether it's a printing or not. This just I have written to understand. Okay, we wrote function one time. Same function we can call again and again. Next, after this, we'll see how many way we can write this thing. Same function, how many way we can write. Let us come now to the CMD, and from CMD we'll try to run it. I went here, node space, your file name, function.js, enter. It's giving 2000 to 2023. Now you can call the same function again after writing a separator, recall, same function, again recall, same function, recall, same function. Let us check now. Same function is calling how many times and how many times you saw the same output. 3 times we called. When we run the page, we can see same function is getting called how many times? 3 times. That's become the meaning. Write once and use many times. Okay, write once and use many times. Similar way function you are going to write in React also. There it will be called as a component. What it will call? Component. Okay. There we will be combining with HTML and rule of the JSX, JavaScript code, everything will be together and it will be called as a Okay, so for calling, we'll go to the next file now. In the second file, we will understand the same function what you are writing, how many other way we can write. Okay, how many other ways we can write. Let us check with the people working. So when you want to write once and use many times, you can use this concept call function. Okay, write once and use many times, we can use call function. Come next, write next file. Function 2. Function 2.j. Okay, function 2.js. First method we wrote like this. Console.log. The one is working. Simple line we wrote. Okay. This is the oldest style to write the function. Traditional method. Little changes happen for some time and people write like this. That's called a function without name. Call it a function without name, or also you can call anonymous function. Anonymous function. 2 equal to function keyword remaining same. Console.log. The 2 is working. Let's come down. Third one called fat arrow function. 3 equal to the last one you have in the modern list. The last method what we wrote is called a fat arrow function. So this is under the modern list. Console.log. The 3 is working. The 3 is working. The way of writing is different, but when you are going to call the function, the way remains same. All three on the top become how many way you can write the function. After that, below you are going to call how you are going to call this function. Function 1, function 2, function 3. Function 1, function 2, function 3.
We have only one function, right? Function one. But other two, where are we defining?
Here only we defined. Here only we define. This is the way to write. Function you can write in this way also. This is called anonymous method. And this is called fat arrow method from ECMAScript 5 and 6.
So we are defining them as variables.
You can apply var, you can apply const, you can apply let. Both
Okay.
is fine. You can remove this var, then also it will work. Function we get define function you are writing and storing inside a var keyword. Okay, function you are writing and storing var inside a var keyword. So var is not only used to create a variable itself. Using var we can do many things. So here what you are doing, you created a function and function you store in a variable. But while calling, you will call like as a function itself. Those are the changes in the market. Okay, ready? Let's check now. CLS we can run. Node space. Your function too. Function two. It return one is working, two is working, three. Correct. So this becomes a static function where you are not passing any kind of input. Function without parameter. Next example we can write. We can implement any one, first, second, or third. There we can understand how to call a function with parameter. So that function will give output according to input. What input you will pass, based on the input, function will give the output. Okay, so hope you saw it's working. Under React, under the Redux, everywhere, this last method are used. Your fully React is based on this last method. Redux is hooks is based on this method. Redux all the functions is based on last method only. It's called fat arrow. Okay, come next. In the third function, third file we are going to write. When you are writing a function, how can you make a function dynamic? So that what input you give, based on the input, it will give the output. Function 3 dot js function 3 dot js. Right inside a function inside receive some input, receive some input in a variable, that variable you made by default is a null. B variable by default is a null. So we created two variable here, two parameter you created, and both parameter variable by default we made as a null. We can make 0 also, we can make empty also, anything if you want to store, you can store by default, no problem. So by default the variable is holding the null value. Null value represent your variable is ready to take any type of value. Sometimes you pass integer, sometimes you pass number, sometimes you pass a string, any type of value you pass, it will be ready to hold. In fact, in JavaScript, variable is completely freedom. It has full freedom. It can hold the value according to what you are passing. It will not say like first was integer, second string will not hold. Okay, so value can be replaced at any moment. Whichever the value you are passing, variable will be able to capture that value. Okay, now two variable, two parameter you created, that is holding called A, and A is holding as a null and B is also holding as a null. Now inside that, write a for loop. That for loop will say I equal to A, I less than equal to B, and then I plus plus. So in that we are not saying I where should be a starting point. We are saying I equal to A. Means a user will enter the first value as a 5 and second value as a 10. So first value will go to the A and second value will go to the B. Let me write here console.log I. While calling this function one, the two parameter is required. First is called any number. Second is called any number. Since we are given A as a initial value and B as a limit. B we have put for the limit. So what says 10 will go to the A, 10 will go to the A and 15 will go to the B. 10 will go to the A and 15 will go to the B. So what will happen now? The for loop will start from 10 and it will go till 15. Since you are writing I equal to A, so what is the value of A? The first value will go to the A, that's called as a 10. And then you are writing I less than equal to B. What is the value of B? 15. So the loop is going to run between 10 to 15. In the first call. Now in the second call, second call, call the same function and pass some other value. 20 is the starting and 30 is the ending. So a start will happen, initial value is the 20 and end value is the 30. So the function is only one, but the output will be different. First time it will give 10 to 15 and second call it will give 20 to 30. Okay, but the function is same. So you are writing not similar task, you are writing as a similar task. Okay, not same task, similar task. Okay, between 10 to 15, so it is printing a series of a number somewhere to somewhere from lower limit to higher limit, right? For that purpose, we wrote a function, and whenever you want to print a series of a number, you will pass the lower number and higher number, starting number and ending number. First number will be starting number, second number will be ending number. It will print you from start to end. Now let us check once happening or not happening. Save it. Check again in the same CMD. CLS we can run. Node space here. File name function 3. Then you can see first loop, same function 10 to 15. Second loop, same function 20 to 30. So that becomes based on input. What input will give? Based on that input, it will give the output. Function with parameter. Working for everyone. Yeah. So these three we have to write how we can write the function. Okay. One is this method. One is this anonymous method. Another one is fat arrow method. Fat arrow method we can write in some different way also. Map function is designed based on fat arrow method. So we can use and we can see next. So these all are called user defined function. We can write like this and according to need we can call it.
Sir, why did you write A equal to null and B equal to null?
We define the variable by default with null. If you not define null, and sometime what will happen if any user will call the function without any value, something like this. Okay. If a user will call the function without any value, what will happen? It will say undefined. This will say which one? A and B will say undefined. And when you are doing the operation inside, it will say NaN, not a number. Okay, you want to see that? I'll write and show you here. Let's see. Better to create next file. Function 4. That is called function with optional parameter and function with required parameter. So this what you have written, this becomes a function with optional parameters. You can pass also, you cannot pass also. But if you are not writing a equal to null or anything, your variable will be undefined and that will be function with required parameter. Right, function 4, I'll guide you. Function 4.js. Function 4.js. in function 4.js, let's take a example. Function 1 equal to, you take three variable, okay? Take three variable comma a, b, and then c, okay? Now inside this write call, so you have not given any by default the variable what it should hold, null or zero or something, okay? Now write inside a variable d equal to e plus b plus c, e plus b plus c, okay? Next after that d equal to a plus b plus c. Next after that console dot log e comma b comma c comma e comma b comma c comma the addition is d, addition is d, okay? Addition is d. Call the function one with three value. Suppose 10, 20, and then 30. Now there may be a possibility that you will call the function with two value only, 50, 30. Maybe sometime function call happen and all three values are not available. Only one value is available. Sometime also possible that function call happen without value. Okay. So in this, what output will come, we will run it first. Then same function, we will write again and will assign with something null. Okay, overloaded. Come now. CLS, node space, function 4. Function 4. See what happen is, output says 10, 20, 30, addition is 60. Second time, 50, 30, undefined, addition is NaN, not a number. Third one says 10, undefined, addition is again NaN. Last one says undefined, addition is NaN, not a number. Reason is what? The variable you have used, it has taken the space in memory, but by default value was undefined. Okay. So when you do the addition of any or any kind of calculation for the undefined, it will give you NaN, not a number. Now how you can write that so that it should not give NaN? Instead of NaN, it should give as a 0, 0 or null, null, null. So for that, we'll come down and we'll write console.log with initial value. Write the function 2, and in function 2, keep a equal to maybe null or 0, b equal to also put maybe null or 0, c equal to also put maybe null or 0. So variable parameter is defined here, but value is not default value. So what was the default value? As a null. Okay, not null. By default it was as a undefined. Okay, since you have not assigned any value, so by default browser has assigned a value. That value was as a undefined. Now you are not living on the JavaScript directly. You are saying yes, this is my variable, and by default value is what? Null. Okay, null or 0 or a string, anything you pass. Next, if any value will come from the user, when the function call will happen, any value will come, then null will get replaced. If value will not come, then by default value will be as a null. How that work? Let me come down below and write here function 3. Not function 3, function 2 only. Function 2, function 2, function 2, and function 2. Function we wrote, right? Value also we are passing, but all values are not available in all 3 calls. Few values are missing. Sometimes there is no value itself. Sometimes there is a value, sometimes no value, sometimes less value. Now what will be the structure once we run the page? Let us check once. Okay, so write it and then try from your side also. We'll come to the CMD and CLS will run once, then run it. Function 4. You can see in the beginning what is happening. NaN, but in the second case, what it says? 10, 20, 30, 60, 50, 30, 80, 10 null as a 10, null, how much? 0, right? Because of this purpose, instead of giving the NaN, not a number to the user, what we did? We assign some value, okay? So when you look into the first function, this is also function based on parameter, but required parameter. Whenever you call the function, you must have to pass that values. Okay? But the second one what you wrote, this is also function based on parameter, but it's an optional parameter. If you are passing, then it will give respective value. If you are not passing, then it will give the default value. Okay. Okay, clear? First one is function with parameter, required parameter. Second one is function with parameter but optional parameter. Now come, you can create the next file. Next file will be called array1.js. Array1.js. In array1.js, we can create one array, then we'll understand the structure of the array. After that, we can print the value of the array. So how to create the array? That look like this, variable. But question is first, why we create array? Why we need to create the array? Then we'll come to know how to create the array. Okay. Let's come to the code now and understand the condition saying like when we look into the internet and you are trying to book a bus from Hyderabad to Bangalore, Bangalore to Hyderabad, you will search on internet, so many websites will appear. In that you will find sometime when you are searching the buses from Bangalore to Hyderabad, you will find lot of buses will be there. 100 plus will be in the list. Sometime when you search, you will find rarely 2-3 are visible in the list. Right? So how that number increase and decrease? Where that data come from? Okay. And how the length increase and decrease, how it will say 2, 3 and all. Everywhere. Go to your Gmail sometime. When you are writing the email, you write the email to one person. Sometime you add CCC, BCC. Come to the Flipkart. When you go and buy the product, you add to cart one product. Again, you add one more product. Sometime you feel like, no, this product is not required. You will go to your cart and you will delete one product, right? So this what condition you are seeing as of now. Apart from that, come to the Facebook. When you post one photo, 100 people will comment on that. Photo will be visible to so many people, right? So behind this entire story, you have a very good concept of array. Okay? Behind this entire functionality on internet, you have a concept of array. Right? Array will make your functionality, your program much easier than without array. Without array, your program will be too complex. Now let me come to the one small example saying like you have 5 items. Assume you have 5 items. You will create 5 variable and you will store 5 items in 5 variable. Let me write here. Just you see once. Variable A equal to, suppose I store call apple. Variable B equal to, assume I store call grapes. Variable C equal to, assume I store call milk. Variable D equal to, assume we store call rice. So question is how many variable we can create? Suppose if there is a 1000 items, 500 item, 50 item, 200 items, how many variable you will create? you will forget which variable and which value. Like suppose we have in India, assume like 300 list of cities we have. We want to keep that list of city in one variable. Instead of keeping in one variable, if you are storing in multiple variable, how many city you have, that many variable you have to create. And in fact, while writing the code, we'll forget which variable and what is the value, right? So that again, your program become complex. So programming, in every languages, we have a concept of array. Arrays is like whether you have one value, two value, 100 value, 5,000 value. No need to create unlimited variables. All the values you can store in one variable itself. And even your all the value will be stored in one variable and value will not mixed. Okay, all the value will be separate as well as according to need you can access it easily. And you will feel like my data is not getting mixed. In fact, all are stored in one variable. Okay. So in that case, the concept of array we have to apply. Now, how the array is going to work? Let me write here a variable called item equal to how many items I have here. I'll keep this all the items in one variable. Since the values are different, it must be separated by comma. That is the common logic. If we keep all one place, it will consider as a single value. It will not consider as a multi-value. So separated by comma, according to value, you have to store it. A string then, no double quote, single quote, no string then, number then, without double quote. Now this become your array. Variable is only one item and it is holding total 4 values. Another way if you look, you have 4 variable and 4 values. To handle the first condition, we have to maintain the 4 variable in memory. To handle the second condition, we need to handle only 1 variable in memory, right? So this is the reason you are going to create the array. What is the reason? Since the value may increase and decrease, value may be 1 or value may be unlimited, we don't know. So in that case, we required a container. That container should be dynamic. According to need, it will reduce and according to need, it will increase. That meaning the value can be increased and value can be decreased. Okay. Now, in one variable, if you have a store multiple value, then how you can access it? While storing it was easy, but while accessing, while taking the value out from this variable, what technique we need to follow? Okay. So for that purpose, you have to understand this point that is called a structure of array. A structure of array. Okay. There will be the name of the array, and inside that we have to use a square bracket. We have to give the position. Inside the array, value start from the 0, whichever the value you have. Because all are the different value, all cannot store one place. It will have a different address inside the variable. So it is saying like array name, after that index position, and after that element name. What is the array name? Item. What is the index by default? Start from 0. What is the first value? It's called as a apple. Now 0, 1, 2, 3. Apple grapes, milk, as well as rice. So index 1, 2, 3. Since it
Is
is starting from
JavaScripting
the
case sensitive, sir?
hmm,
Case sensitive, like you have written milk, capital M and smaller m.
which one? This one.
No, milk, for example.
It's a
In
value.
the
It can be anything. Value, what you will write here, that will print here. Your value is not case sensitive. Case sensitive. Your variable is case sensitive. Variable where we are storing, the variable is case sensitive, not the value. Okay, hope got it. Come down. So inside the array, the most important two term we have, that is called element. Element is nothing but your values. Whichever the value you are storing here, this will be called as a element. And where these values are stored, that is called as a index position. By default, inside the array, first value will be stored on 0 position and last value will be stored on length minus 1 position. Okay. By default, inside the array, first value will be stored on 0 position and last value will be stored on length minus 1 position. So then come to the next. Print inside console.log the first value item of 0 should print to the first value. Printing the last value, if I write like this, console.log item of 3. This will not be always right syntax. Reason is, now you have 4 elements inside the array. So third position will give you the last value. In case, suppose someone will delete one element, then what will happen? Third position will not be there. It will give the error, right? So the right solution is something like this. Console.log item of item dot length minus 1. Item of item dot length minus 1. Item of item dot length. So inside the item, what is the length of the item? Length will help you to get the length of the number of elements inside. So total length is 4. Now if we say total length is 4. 4 minus 1, 3. So this is also going to print item of 3 only. But this becomes a dynamic line. If anyone will add the value, then also it will give the last. If anyone will delete the value, then also it will give the last. But the last line number 15, what we are written, that is not dynamic code. It becomes a fixed code. It's a hard coded code. Okay. That will not give you always the last element. Okay, go next. Check once, is it printing or not? Node space, your file name, array1.js, apple rice and rice. Rice is coming twice because we have printed the last element 2 times. We have printed the last element 2 times. Okay, come next. Using for loop, how you can print all the values? Console.log. Print all values. Write the for loop. Variable I equal to 0. Why 0? Because array start from the 0. If you write I equal to 1, you will not get the first value. It will start from the second element. I less than your array dot length. So you are making complete dynamic. How many elements are inside the array? Run the loop that many times only. No need to run the loop more than that. No need to run the loop less than that. I plus plus. Come inside. Console.log. Item we have to print. And inside the item, we can print the I. That is going to bring 0, 1, 2, 3. So item of 0 first time, first value, apple. Item of 2 second time, grapes. item of 3 milk, item of 4 rice. Okay. So it will print all the values from beginning to till last. Coming? It should print all the values. Okay. Oh, undefined is coming because I less than equal to we have written. We should not write equal to. If you write less than equal to, then it will go till length. But last value is available on length minus 1 position. So we should not write I equal to less than equal to. Only less than is fine. So printing, come next. We will create another file. In that file, we will understand, because when you get the data from the backend in the JSON of object, it will come, array of object, it will come, and there will be huge data. In that, increment, decrement, length, and all will be difficult to take care. So we have a listing function. That listing function says like, you don't need to worry about the length of your array. Where to start also no need to worry. Where to end also no need to worry. Just to give me the name of the array, I will read the element and give you. Okay. That call is a for each function and map function. Map function you are going to use in the React also. And for each function you will not use in React, you will be using under the JavaScript everywhere. Okay. Now come write next file. Array2.js to understand the listing function of JavaScript, map and for each. Array2.js. Okay, in array2.js, create an array of city, where I store some city name. Okay, let it be two cities only. Now write a function. A structure we can write through comment. How map function works. How map function. You have to write array name dot map. Map have multiple way to write. I'll guide you all one by one. Map is called as a listing function. It used to read the data from the array. It's a listing function of JavaScript. It used to read the data from array. Now, map function will return two parameter. The first will be called element and second will be called index. After that, a statement we can write. I'll explain below how it is going to happen. Your city name, array name is called city dot map. City dot map. City dot map. So now we don't have to look into the increment, decrement, starting point and condition and all. Map function will say you give me the array and I will start reading the element one by one. So when you write city.map, map function will start calling and first it will look inside how many elements you have. It will say, oh, there is a 5 elements. So map function is going to call itself 5 times. Okay, if you have the total 5 element inside your array, the map function is going to call itself total how many times? 5 times. Next, what will happen in each call? Let's write here. When first it will call, it will take the first element. That is called Pune. Map function will take the first element from the city. That's called as a Pune. And it will split into two parts. One is called value, another one is called position. So I'll write here call. First is called as a value and second is called as a position. So what is the value? Value is called Pune and what is the position? 0. So value will go to the element, will go to the value and position will go to the index, will go to the position. Next after that fat arrow key method you will follow. You will come inside and you will write here console.log print the value, print the position, whichever we required, print the statement, that's all. No need of increment, decrement. How many elements are inside the array? That many times the map function is going to call and every time it will take the element and split into two parts, value and position, and keep printing below. That loop will go till how many times? till the number of elements we have inside the array. Right? Check once it's working or not. So one person is there called Kishore, right? So we don't have your record. Send your name and number in the chat. Okay, the Kishore name is called Kishore in the Zoom chat. They should send their name and number in the chat. Check now, function is working. So for loop is better or map is better? Hmm? Map look like better? In that we don't have to do the increment decrement, right? Initialization and other stuff, it will take care automatically. So let's go here, right call cls node space your file name array to enter. Is printing all the values. We can print the position also somewhere. Position, comma, put here something hash in between. So it will separate both and print. Let's run again. Something like this. We'll see again multiple way of map function as well as for each function tomorrow. Recording of the classes are already posted in the group.